How come the Boy Scouts had to lose their name, but the Girl Scouts gotta?
Did the Boy Scouts lose their name?
Yeah, now it's called Scouting Adventures of America.
I don't know what number this is, but we're just gonna get into it. Whatever it is, it's number 45.
Welcome on in.
Something.
Hey.
It's what, the Scouts of America?
Yeah, it's called Scouting.
Did you talk to Roy about that?
No, I didn't. But I was just thinking about it though as he was leaving. I was like, because I always like telling him like Boy Scout jokes and stuff. Like I'm all, you doing a good turn daily, or like are you always being prepared? I'm a nerd.
You antagonize him?
No, I'm like I'm proud to be a Boy Scout. I think it's fun.
Oh, they just barely did this. They changed their name.
Yeah, well, no, it was a couple of years ago. Yeah, because they all got.
It says they just did it.
Yeah,
the AI says they just did it. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe not. Go ahead.
Well, they got sued. The Boy Scouts of America got sued into obliteration from everyone. That whole thing.
Yeah. It says they were the name change came after years of scandal and lawsuits from former scouts claiming sexual abuse. The organization sought bankruptcy protection in 2020. Well, I guess because the Girl Scouts didn't have all those lawsuits. I don't know. I mean,
oh yes.
This is something I don't understand.
Now the girls are in there. Now we got girls in there. No more Boy Scouts because they got sued because of they're dumb.
Yeah.
But
this is what I don't understand though. Is like, how can you sue an organization for the acts of individuals inside your organization?
Yeah.
When it's that big, it's nationwide or bigger.
Well, they claim that because no one ever actually did a background check. That's why they got.
So it was like negligence or something.
Yeah,
like
just
that,
extreme negligence because these pedophiles were able to, not to get into it too deep, not medical advice, but these pedophiles were able to kept assaulting people, and they would just go to different scout troops. They would just.
So it's like the Catholic Church or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Allegedly, they just would cover it up or something.
But they didn't. And if they found out that they were doing it, they would move them to different troops too.
See, I wonder, how is this possible of a thing? Unless the people in power were also, in on it. You know what I mean? It's unless they were also like that.
Yeah.
Because realistically, everybody I talk to and everybody I know, nobody agrees with those people.
Right.
Nobody ever that I've talked to is yeah, pedophiles are cool.
Yeah, fuck no.
None of them, no. But you hear about it on the internet from the extreme left.
Right.
The extremists on the left want to make it legal.
Fuck that.
And then you hear about California passing some weird laws every once in a while about it.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's so how is there anybody in an organization that would do that?
Right.
That wouldn't hear about something, so this stories like this always just ping my radar.
Yeah.
As my conspiracy theorist radar.
Right.
Did this really happen? Or was this a way to take down an organization that helps boys become men?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Something, because, I get it. Well, okay, so I know our upbringing was a little bit different. Not to be, too personal, but the fact that everyone's dad went, you know what I mean? There was never any weird stuff.
Yeah, there was troops that weren't like that.
Yeah.
But we were both Boy Scouts. Almost all our dads went to these camp trips. I don't know if it was just our dads were friends.
Yeah.
So they all went and they all got along, and then all our kids, we all went. We were it was you were sleeping in tents with your dad for the most part. Yeah. There was only one or two kids that didn't have their dad come with.
Yeah, and they would sleep in a tent with themselves. There was never anything weird.
Yeah.
It was never.
But it's
no crossing streams here.
Yeah, and I heard of other troops that were weren't necessarily LDS troops,
right?
And they would have the leader might be drinking,
Yeah.
All the kids are just goofing off the whole time, just doing whatever they want, and I don't know, maybe it's just one of those things where it just happened over there.
Yeah.
Or like in this specific area. And like you said, maybe like a pedo like got into a position of power.
Yeah.
And then he got his pedo buddies all into the troops and started moving them around. But once again, it goes back to my original point, which is like, I mean, I guess there isn't like a king of the Boy Scouts.
Well, no, but the thing that makes me feel weird about it is everyone. Okay, I watched a couple documentaries on it, and they said, "Oh, and all the way back to to the original Baden-Powell," and I'm like, "Hell no! I'm sorry, but
yeah." So
I hate everyone that says that Baden-Powell came from England to teach Boy Scouts in America because he was getting investigated for the same stuff over there. I'm like, no, wrong answer.
Well, and like,
I'm not buying it.
You never know how the history is rewritten.
Right, exactly.
And like, especially with the type of stuff we're doing lately, and the stuff that's coming out right now, USAID is paying the media specifically to propagandize the country, to propagandize the people. Where else did they do that?
Yeah.
Where else was the media controlled by the government?
Right.
You guys want to think about this for a second? Or like, do we need to go back into a history lesson here?
Oh, exactly.
And it's like, what else did they do in those situations? They rewrote history.
Oh, yeah.
What else did they do? They
took the men away.
Yeah, they took the men away.
They took your guns away.
They took the guns away. They made you think that things weren't what they were.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 + 2 is 5.
Right.
If they can get you to believe certain things, then they can get you to believe anything.
Right.
So it's like, okay, now what else do we have here? We got Epstein, right? And do you know what Epstein was, right?
Yeah, he was a bad dude.
Yeah, but what was the whole deal he was doing? Like literally what he's doing.
Oh, he was blackmailing everybody.
He was blackmailing everybody, right?
Yeah, he was. And
then you got P. Diddy, and he's blackmailing everybody.
He blackmailed everybody.
So let's put this together. Let's put it all together here.
Right.
What are we going to do if we want to take down America, right? And we're communists, and we want to take down the evil capitalist pigs. Well, if we take the man out of the home, the women and children are easier to control, right?
Right, yeah.
If we make the mom go to work,
then the kids will learn everything from the media.
Well, yeah, or they'll become gangbangers.
Right, yeah.
The worst kids are in single parent homes.
Yeah.
And this isn't just me saying this is what the data says.
Right.
Okay. If you have and it's not even single parent homes, it's single mother homes.
Single mother homes, yeah.
If the kids are in a single father home,
way different rules.
Then they have the same outcome as if they're in a 2-parent home.
Right. They got chores, they got
discipline. And I don't have sources on this, but this is stuff I've heard. So who knows? Believe what you want, I guess, but or go look it up. But so it would seem to make sense because behavior issues usually come from the mom.
Right.
And the mom also usually, and I'm right in this right now, usually has a harder time disciplining.
Right.
They wait to discipline. Whereas the dad doesn't wait. The dad's on it.
Nip it in the butt right now.
And so that's what tends to happen. And so like my kids tend to behave more around me than they do around their mom, which I try to tell her to just like, discipline them faster, and then they won't do that. Put them in timeout faster. We don't beat them around here.
Yeah. Yeah, no spanking butts here.
Anyways, though, so if you can take you take the dad out of the household, then the kids cause havoc. They become chaotic.
Right, they do.
It's just the way it is. So if you have the Boy Scouts of America or other programs that literally go against that narrative or that idea,
right?
Like, wouldn't you want to take them down?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That makes sense because they do it, and I don't know, not to sound fucked up, but the girls that are in Boy Scouts they're aggressive. They're trying to prove that they could be better, which is the wrong answer. Boy Scouts is supposed to be about building your unit, being, doing stuff as a unit. When I was a Boy Scout leader of the 11-year-old scouts, my scouts as a unit were rock and roll stars. Like we did the Klondike Derby, and they got all the patches for being the fastest at first aid, for making a fire the fastest. They pushed the sled as a team,
Yeah.
Like, they were a little bit wild and crazy, though. Like, no, guys, slow down, but they were excited about it because they were a team unit, But when I see women in scouting, not to like hate, but they just want to compete. They want to make it against each other. They want to one up.
Well, I've never dealt with any women in scouting, but it is like, it does seem to be like that in certain things. And, I wonder too if it's how they're brought up, like how women are brought up in this day and age where they're brought up as like this, like the boss bitch mentality, right?
Right.
Where it's like, you need to
be the bitch.
Yeah. Like go above and beyond what the dudes do, because they have all of this, like, what they call, they have all this privilege because they're dudes, right? And it's like, well, I mean, that's not necessarily true. And I don't think it's true at all. Right. I think privilege is another myth that the communists push to
make us all crazy.
To basically just push their narration. Right. 2 + 2 is 5, right?
Well, no, I was going to say, like, especially women in power, like, especially because when you get into a management position, you don't all of a sudden wake up with like a new way of speaking, with a new way of being proper, or a brand new understanding about how to manage people. I'm sorry, but those skills need to be learned, right? You don't just like osmosis, like, oh, hey, blah. No, you know what I mean? But not to hate, but some women, I feel they do that. They come into work the next day and they're like, I need you to explain this. Like, I hate women-splaining. Like, when a woman splains stuff to me, I'm like, get your dick out of my mouth. Like, I don't mansplain shit to you. I mansplain to everybody all the time. Well, that's okay.
I do it on purpose too.
But I especially if they're wrong. Like, I'm like, yo, and if you're wrong anyways, you know what I mean? Like, why are you asking me? And I take an opposition approach to it, which shouldn't be that way. But if they would have just said like simpler, like, hey, I have a question about this. Yo, what up? I'll totally take care of it. Instead, they're like, yo, do you know why the sky's blue? Like, oh yeah, let's hear this shit. What you tell me? You know what I mean? Like, why do you got to be aggressive? But especially since you haven't learned anything, especially because they don't have that role either. If they don't have an active father in their life, they're going to be crazy the boss bitch. Like they automatically think they're just the boss.
Yeah, but it's like you said, it's not a competition environment.
No.
So it's like if you have to go compete against dudes for something, fine. But if you're in the scouts, you shouldn't be competing necessarily. I mean,
in the
you
workplace,
might be competing.
You shouldn't be competing either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you should, really. I mean, it's all a competition, I think. All of life is a competition, really. But if you're on a team with somebody, you should be competing against the other team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, in a grocery store, you should be competing against the other grocery stores. You should be a team to get the customer the shit they want.
Right.
And that's how I feel about it. Like, I go to work with the mentality of helping the customer get the shit they want.
Yeah, but the middle management is the worst part of corporations, because they really feel they have power and they have no power.
Right.
And so until you, like, as an employee, you have to do 2 things to beat these middle manager bosses, right?
Yeah.
And so the first thing you have to do is be better at your job than everybody.
Yes.
And if you're not better than your job at everybody, then you're screwed.
Yeah.
The second thing you have to do is be able to quit at any moment.
Yes.
And if you can't quit at any moment, then you're screwed.
Right? You are, because you have to go to work. You have to do it. You have to do it.
And so how do you accomplish that, though, right? Like, the first thing, being better at your job, like, I have some pointers. The first thing you should do is when you go to work, you should in your head that it's happened to you.
I disappeared. I got pissed off that you're lecturing me.
It's like, why is it lagging out? We're not even streaming. Hold on, we gotta fix this shit. Oh, it's why? I wonder if we're out of hard drive space. Okay, are you gonna work today, computer? Okay, let's start recording again and see what happens. Anyway, so what you gotta do?
Welcome back.
I'm gonna have to edit this shit together. I don't know what happened. The hard drive decided to give up for a minute. Thanks, Samsung. You're supposed to be the shit, but I mean, a lot of times you are, but sometimes you're not. Anyway, so You gotta go treat your work like it's your own business.
Yes.
You know, and then back to competition. It's like you gotta blow everybody out of the water.
Right.
You gotta be better than everybody ever was. You gotta be the best there ever was at your stupid little job.
Every day.
And so if you can do that, then you have a lot more power. And then you get this middle manager who comes in and thinks that they're the king shit. And you're just like, yeah, well, you know, like I've had many managers over the years try to tell me to do their job.
Yes. And
I've told them no many times, you know, because I didn't want to throw their backstock.
Right.
I'm like, no, I'm not throwing your backstock. And then one of these little dudes, this little like 4 foot tall dude, you know, it's always the short dudes that are angry too. Like they're just angry, man.
They're
like,
so pissed.
Uh-oh. It's not working still. If we go to this one, what happens?
Oh.
Is it an OBS issue?
It's more
spacious. We have space on the hard drive.
Right.
Is the hard drive like giving out? Like it says 1.6 terabytes available. 1.7 terabytes used, and it's 3.3 terabytes. The 4 terabyte drive, and I have it partitioned. Okay. So why isn't it working? Doesn't look, let's see if it lags out on this one.
Okay.
I think that I'm not like, hold on. Let me make sure I'm not recording onto the main drive.
Right.
If I'm recording onto the wrong drive. No, I can't be because I pull the file off of this every day and put it in the thing. The computer doesn't want me to tell you guys how to succeed at work. You know, so if you can't do all that, yeah, this little 4 foot tall dude, he comes in one day and he's like, hey, you got to start doing this. Right. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. It's not my job. Like, you know, and like, it's not that I won't help out. Right. Like, I'll help out. What these people's idea is that I will do that job forever.
Right.
Like, I will throw their backstock and do my job forever. It's not like, hey, so and so called in sick. Can you help out? Because if he said that, I'd be like, yeah, and go do it.
Right.
Because I like to help out. But yeah, it's like they're like, hey, you're gonna have to throw those 2-wheelers every week or every day or whatever. So I said no. I'm like, I'm not doing that. So, you know, and what he said to me is like, he started cussing me out. So then he loses instantly.
Right.
Because he swears.
Yes.
Right. And this is the world that you guys made, not me.
Right.
And like, I didn't fucking tell anybody. I didn't go to any managers or nothing.
Right.
He just starts, I'm going to fucking write you up for insubordination. It's like, you can't fucking tell me no. And he's mad. Like, he's fuming, pissed off. Maybe it's because I'm 6 foot tall and he's 4 foot tall. And I'm telling him no.
Right.
You know? And I'm just like, dude, like, this is what I legitimately said. I said, I drive by 5 Smith stores to get here every day. I said, I'll put my 2 weeks in right now and go to another one. Is that what you want? Right. You want to come deal with this shit too? That's what I told him.
Right.
Like, he stormed off pissed. Right? And the next day he fucking comes and finds me in the morning and he apologizes. Now, I didn't tell any managers this happened or nothing.
Right.
You know? But I just literally told him at that moment, I'm like, yeah, you can say you're sorry, whatever, but listen, okay, you got a fucking kid. You know, I'm like, when you start yelling at your kid like that, he's not going to respect you. Like, your kid's going to hate you when he gets old. Right. That's what I told him.
Right.
Like, you need to take care of your temper, dude.
Yeah, he calm down.
You know, you could sit there and not only that, you lose.
Right.
Like, you lost it all. Like, I won it all. I'm not going to do your shit.
Right.
You know, and it's like, you got to have that kind of attitude at work.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't, and you got to be able to walk. You know, like, I always have a couple little jobs going on. I don't ever have one job. So I can walk away from one job and just pick right up at another one.
Right.
You know? But, you know, for a while there, I had 2 jobs and a business.
Right.
And so if one got screwed up, I would just turn up the other one.
Right.
You know, it's just the way it is. But,
oh, yeah.
Like, these managers, like, they think they're the king of the world. And I'm like, really, you have the shittiest job of all of us. You got to fucking deal with me.
Right.
And I'm a dick. You know, like, I'm not doing your job.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know what all the ins and outs are with the Boy Scout thing because I didn't look at it. But
oh yeah,
I didn't research any of it. All I know is that the stuff came out and it's like the whole idea of the world and how it's been for the last 10 years has been like this. Like they're literally trying to get you and your little boys to stop being your little boys.
Right.
You know, they're literally trying to get your boys to like eat all this soy and stop eating meat and like become
women
like
boys.
Well, yeah, and or become like what is it? Like androgynous.
Right.
Like they're trying to get our whole society to be like that. And like it seems like satanic, you know? So, and I mean, it's like the main thing is that if you pull the dads out of the household, you know, and it seems like, I don't know for sure, but it seems like this was done to a certain community. It seems like their culture became to pull the dads out, and look what happened to them.
Right.
You know, it was not good.
Right.
Like you
it's
need
not good.
That. You need that discipline to sort of grow up balanced. So, I mean, I had this conversation with somebody. I won't say who. Oh, it's doing it again. I don't know what to do, man. It's just jacking up.
It's tired.
It's just deleting your stuff. So I don't know what your camera's plugged into that thing. Like I could try plugging your camera into something else, but I don't know if that would do anything or not. I don't know if it's a hard drive issue.
Yeah.
I might need a new hard drive. That hard drive has always been weird. You know what I mean? But
well, my other thing that I was trying to say too is not besides that main topic, but just the fact that now they're called Scouting of America. So now no one can sue because now they have women and everyone involved. But like, yo, it's kind of jacked up that the Girl Scouts still get to be like their own damn thing. Like, I'm like,
why would they like? I don't get why adding women into Boy Scouts fixed the pedo problem.
I don't know.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sorry,
like
but like, I get that. Like, I don't know. I'm pissed about it, and I may sound like a sexist.
Why are you mad? Why do you care?
I love Boy Scouts. I think it was the bomb, and I liked Girl Scouts because that's what they do. They do Girl Scouts. We did Boy Scouts. Like, and now the Boy Scouts got all jacked up, and now it's, hey, everyone come do this. But the Girl Scouts are still only for girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I would do is think about it this way, though. Is like, and this is a different way to think, but the Girl Scouts is its own program. Like, let's just say it was called something else, like Brownies.
Right.
Right. I mean, I don't know if that's a different thing or the same thing or whatever.
Right.
But let's say instead of calling the Girl Scouts, it was called Brownies.
Right.
But only girls went because you were doing things like, you know, camp.
Right.
Without parents around, and you don't really want to be mixing girls and boys, you know, for certain activities because, you know, other activities happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so that you have that, right?
I get that.
But it's not called Girl Scouts. Like if you could take that part of it away, would it change your idea? And the Boy Scouts was never called Boy Scouts.
Yeah. If they called it Spades and Shovels or whatever,
yeah, spades
okay,
and
great.
Shovels. So you wouldn't have this idea anymore, or would you?
No, because that's exactly what happened to the Boy Scouts. Is it now it has a non cool name, or just whatever. Now they're just called Adventuring Fun.
Yeah, well,
but so like they changed, and I'm not trying to like say like
around
it needs to be boys and girls, but
you're gone again.
All I'm saying is that it just sucks that history is lost. And oh wait.
I mean, the history isn't lost. It's like it is there.
Yeah.
You know,
But no one else is going to be a Boy Scout. No one else is going to. Now it's all jacked.
Well, but like the church still does their own thing, right? Like they don't do the Scouts anymore.
Yeah.
So, but they still do like young men's.
Right.
Like they're probably still going to campouts and they're still doing like activities.
I hope.
I think they are.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
I think Jared when all this went down, Jared told me that's what they were doing.
Well,
and that's what it was before anyways. It's like you looked at it as the Scouts and it was, and it was like chartered by the church or whatever, right? But realistically, it was a church thing.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't the Scouts, and you can tell that because since the church stopped chartering it, it's now basically gone.
Yeah.
Around here,
Oh,
I mean, it's like hardly anywhere.
Right.
It's like certain people do it, but
well, I know
I haven't heard about it.
Okay, so I know like some non-denominational groups, they have what is called the Royal Marines, and it's but so like there's boys that are involved in it, right? But then there's also Royal Marines for girls. And so even though it's the same program for both, they are still segregated. You know what I mean? Right. Oh, it stopped.
I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Yeah, why aren't you changing? Go to the other one.
Hey, look, there I am. Hey, everybody.
Maybe that USB hub is going bad. Let's work on that theory.
Well, so I don't know. My main thing is, I know Boy Scouts had a lot of bad things happen. Poof, now they're out of they got blown up, sued to smithereens.
Yeah.
And I just think that the Girl Scouts should just pony up and say, hey, you know what? Now they gone. We're cookie queens of the planet.
I mean, but like back to my original point is like, why does it matter what the organization is called?
Right.
They're still going to do their specific things. And like I said, I think if the Boy Scouts, do they have separate groups like a girl troop and a boy troops? Or do they have co-ed troops where they're all mixed
Some
together?
of them are all mixed together. Some of them, I don't think they sleep together, but but they all meet together. Like, I don't know.
I could see them like meeting together.
The last thing I saw, sorry to interrupt you or step on you.
No, you're good.
But the last thing that I saw was a co-ed troop with women and boys. But I'm just like, no, I'm not trying to sound like a shithead, but boys need to be with boys to learn how to become men.
Yeah.
You need to learn how to mess up and have your friend correct you and, fart. And you know what I mean? Like there's stuff that are specific to boys becoming men that's different from girls hanging out.
Yeah, but it's like you can't, if in today's world, they don't want that.
Why? That's bad.
They want men to be like women and women to be like men. They want women to be like CEOs, right?
Yeah.
Except here's the problem is they don't want women to be plumbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they don't want women to be in the
trades.
Yeah, in these other jobs that are like a bigger pain in the ass,
right?
And they don't. Like you don't see women on the oil field. Like hardly at all. If I don't know, I don't ever see them. Like I don't do that work either. But in truck driving, there is more women all the time, but it's not very many, hardly any.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like they want the sort of the good jobs, right, or quote unquote.
Yeah.
But it's like the problem with all of that is that you lose. Women don't like always necessarily compete in the same ways that we do.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you do lose some. There's issues with that, but it's like you said, you're not gonna necessarily get the correct corrections from women. So I don't know, but I mean, I don't know if the Boy Scouts, it's just basically not the answer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put my kids in it. Not like this.
Right.
I wouldn't see the point. And I don't. My kids aren't in it. And if they've had a friend that was in it and they wanted to, fine. But I wouldn't expect it to teach them how to be a man.
Right.
Like I have to do that.
Right. No, exactly.
It's a lot of freaking work. It's a lot.
But it is a cool thing to do with your dad. Like, you know what I mean? It is a cool thing to do with I enjoyed my years of scouting.
Being I sort of did, but I also just didn't. It was like there was too much red tape about everything.
Yeah.
And this is a point to the conspiracy theory when you went to Scouts, you couldn't do certain things, right? Like you had to get permission. I remember like them having to get permission for this dude who needed to sleep in an RV to bring his RV.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I think he must have had sleep apnea.
Yeah,
or something.
sleep apnea. Yeah.
He had to get permission to go to bring his camp trailer to the camp.
Right.
I'm just like, this is ridiculous. It's like, yeah, it's your camp or whatever, and they did give him permission, and he did it. Right. But all of that sort of stuff, I don't understand this world of liability. Basically, it's like if your dad is there, standing right next to you, and he says, yeah, we can do this. Like, you shouldn't need all this extra stuff.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like I could get releases for kids that their parents aren't there.
Right.
But if their parents are there, why do you need the release?
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah. So like, to me, it was like camping, but less fun camping because there was all these rules. There was all this like schedule and like,
right. Yeah.
it was basically just a bunch of extra stuff that I didn't understand and still don't fully understand all of it. But maybe like you said, it was because our troop was weird because all our dads were there for the most part,
Yeah. Yeah.
So we didn't, some of the stuff didn't make any sense. But yeah, I mean, it's like, did it really teach you to be a man though? I mean, look at you.
Yeah.
Look at the state of you. Are you happy with the product?
Damn straight. I feel like I'm good.
Do you think that if you went back and your 14-year-old self saw you now, do you think they would be happy with their future?
High five, man. Like, what up, weirdo?
I don't want any candy. All right. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this thing together. It's gonna suck.
You just can't glue it.
Yeah, I
like
can.
A thing?
It's just a pain.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and I don't really have time today.
Oh yeah.
But whatever, it's gonna happen.
Nice. Well, yeah, I was just thinking about that on my way home because I saw like the Girl Scouts of America with their like proud building and like their the faces of young women on the side of their building and all. Young women, come buy your cookies and shit. And I'm like, you know what?
So, I mean,
I'm just jealous. Maybe I'm just jealous because the Boy Scouts got all obliterated.
Is there zero pedo cases in the Girl Scouts? Like, has that never happened?
I don't know, but apparently he hasn't sued him into obliteration.
Right.
Like, which I don't get that either. Like, how does money make you feel better about hey, I need 1.7 million to feel better about what happened when my parents weren't being good parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's a Wikipedia on it, but it just says scouting sex abuse cases.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, here's one. Former Girl Scouts troop leader to serve 15 years for sexual abuse. So they must have just like done it right. I guess.
Like punished the hell out of them.
Like they actually did something about it, and for some reason the Boy Scouts didn't.
Well,
see, this says Boy Scouts. It's NBC, so who knows? But this says August 6, 2019. The Boy Scouts have a pedophile epidemic, and they're hiding hundreds in its ranks.
Well, yeah, because.
But like, if you know that there's hundreds hiding in its ranks, like, how come you're not hunting those guys down?
Yeah. We're doing a background check and just.
Well, no, like literally hunting them down.
Yeah, exactly. Like, make sure you know that who you're getting. First of all, you gotta verify it.
Like, I don't understand. It says the abused in scouting lawyers. So a bunch of lawyers got together and made a big old class action lawsuit. It looks like they've identified 350 predator scoutmasters and represent 800 victims. That's a shit ton.
Yeah, that's a grip.
So.
Again,
so somebody must have gotten power.
Yeah.
That was one of these freaking weirdos. Well, and then they took down the organization. Like with either if it's true, that's what happened. Right. They probably got all their weirdo friends And they were like, hey, you could come be a leader.
Well, yeah. Well, the bottom line is what they weren't doing. The one thing that they didn't do was a background check, period.
Checks.
That was all they didn't do.
But what would that do?
It would let them know, hey, he's a pedo, and they
should. So these were already on the sex offender list.
Yeah. Some of them were.
Some of them were.
Yeah, when you read the contract to become a Boy Scout leader, when you sign up for it, it says like right on the bottom that you're here to inspire the lives of these blah 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 and not be a fucking pedo.
Yeah, that's what it says. It says that.
You know, like in a more lawyer talk way, you know, like. But they didn't do any background checks. They didn't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Weird. I mean, it seems weird, but it's like I said, in our situation, when you're in the church, and where we are in Utah, it's like it was just synonymous with the church.
Yeah.
Do they do background checks on their leaders? Like your young men's leader or your deacon's leader.
Yeah.
They would just say you're the scout guy too.
Yeah.
You know, you do both for the most part. Right?
And see, they right then, boom. Hey, we want you to be the guy. Background check. Oh, so shit. Never mind. You know, like that's like a part of it. If you go get a job, background check. Oh, wait, not having you. You know what I mean?
So this somebody literally asked the same question you did. Why aren't they just doing the same thing as the other one? The answer, they say, is it's two totally separate organizations. They are not tied or connected in the least bit.
Right.
They have two totally different histories and philosophies.
Right.
When BSA decided to allow openly gay boys to be Scouts unit, they aged out at age 18. I don't know what that means. It sounds confusing. Like, I don't know who wrote that, but let's see. And would not allow openly gay men to be involved in scouting. So they were letting the kids be in, but not the adults. That's what it means.
You couldn't be
gay kids, no gay adults. This created the largest controversy in scouting and alienated quite a few folks. Many churches, in our area at least, kicked scouting troops from their grounds. The more conservative BSA fans were not happy with the decision relative to the openly gay scouts under age 18. Yeah, I don't know. This is talking about something completely different.
Right.
I don't know. Well,
I don't know. And that was my other thing too. Is like, I don't know. Scouting gives you something to do to like not be a gangbanger.
Yeah,
know?
but like we just as parents we need to get better.
Yeah.
With giving our kids stuff to do. Right. And it's hard. It is hard. Like we've been doing it a lot lately. I've been talking about this on these podcasts like crazy, but I've been adding all these extra classes.
Right.
I homeschool. We homeschool.
Yeah.
But it's like they're going to be doing school until like 7:00 tonight.
Right.
They went to a museum this morning, and this is what homeschool is like. It's crazy.
Right.
It's insane amounts of time spent on this stuff.
It should be.
So when your kids go to school, that can't be the only thing that you do. When they come home from school, yeah, you're tired too. They're tired, whatever, but you have to do more.
Right.
And like that's the issue.
Stretch and grow. Yeah.
So today, with everything that I have to do, I start my day at 3 a.m.
Right.
And I won't hit the pillow. I'll hit the pillow at 8:00 tonight. And in that time, I won't do. I'll basically be busy from 3 a.m. till 8:00 at night. Maddie has a dentist appointment, so I have to do school, part of her school that she usually does, and then I have to do my own later.
Right.
I might get like a half an hour to an hour to myself all day.
Right.
That's pretty much a normal day for me.
I feel you.
Or I mean, I don't know if you count this or not, but yeah,
I mean, this is definitely time away from like something else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, when I'm not doing this, I'm learning, and so. But when we had the business going, I was doing that, so I was working a lot. But
yeah,
right before we came onto this, I was up there talking to Declan about stuff that he needs to do better. Like, he's having a bad attitude all day. And it's like, it's hard because he says that he wants to do homeschool, but then when it comes time to do homeschool, he's mad about it.
Right.
And I'm like, well, dude, like, this is what it is.
Right.
Well, why can't I just do all my school on the computer? That's what he says, because writing is too hard. I'm like, well, because you have to learn how to write too.
Right. Yeah, you got to be able to do it.
Like with an actual utensil, a pencil. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just tough, but you need to realize that even if you're at the Scouts, and this is something that a leader shared with me, he's like, it just pissed him off that his parents would just bring their kids and drop them off.
Right. Yep.
And I'm like, I do that with soccer. Like, I don't drop them off. I stay there.
Right.
And watch. But I don't know what I'm doing because I don't know anything about sports.
Well, I mean, a coach should be there to help develop them to be athletes.
Yeah, but like I don't drop the kid off and leave.
No.
Like I don't see how that would be. I would never do that. Like, not only that, I'm there to listen. So like when the coach is like, "Hey, you guys, here's your homework," then I have to remember it.
Do chipping.
So I can get him to do it.
Yeah, that's good.
But this year, if they don't both really start doing soccer well, I'm taking them both out.
Right.
It's a giant waste of time for us because they just don't do it. Milo only wants to do it so he can get the treat. And like I used to think like that, and I never did sports, but I was thinking like if they had to do a sport and an instrument, and I thought that would be good for them, but they just don't care or get it,
I mean, sporting at that age is I don't know, it helps develop the characteristics to do it bigger. Like I played football in high school until I got hurt. That was the deal I made with Mom.
Yeah.
And so I broke my butt bone. I couldn't play no more.
Yeah.
But it's
yeah, but they say they say all that stuff, right? It builds all this and all that. Well, my kids aren't getting that.
Right.
They're not getting any of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
All that stuff they're supposed to be getting, they're not. What my youngest one does is he goes out in the field and then he's like, "I'm tired." He tells his coach he's tired and he comes right back in. Yeah. So he spends most time on the sideline. It's 90+% of the game he doesn't play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are we doing? Unless there's like a week where only 4 kids show up.
Yeah.
Then he's in for a lot of it because we make him because they can't play.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I don't know. Maybe when they're a little bit older, right now they'll probably grow into it. I don't know.
Well, they're not though. All the other kids are way better.
Yeah.
And they just are. I mean, there's maybe not in the youngest one's age. Like, he's not even chasing the ball. Even when he's on the field, like all the kids will be over here and he's over here.
Right.
Like he just does not care at all. The other one, the older one, doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get the whole game, and it's probably my fault. I don't blame them. I blame myself. I don't get the game,
Right.
because I don't get sports. Meanwhile, on piano, like both of them are doing pretty good, because I get that. So like it's easy for me to teach him,
Right. I mean, I feel you.
But it's like the idea is I can't just bring them over there and plop them off and be like, "Hey, coach, do this," and it's only 1 hour a week.
Right.
The coach doesn't have time to. Like and so what I've been doing this year is every day they need to do a half hour to an hour of practice.
Right.
And it's been cold, but today it's warm and yesterday is warm. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, whenever I can and do it. I mean, the thing just changed. The routine changed again, so I don't know, but
yeah.
Whenever I can and do it, then I'll get out there with them. And Milo is getting better. The youngest is getting better.
Nice.
But I have to sit there and tell him the whole time what to do.
Right.
Because he doesn't get to like, okay, just repeat that drill. He goes, stop. And like,
right,
do something else. Or, he just doesn't want to do it. They don't want it. And so here's my thing. Like, why should I just push them to do something that they don't want?
Right.
Even if they're going to get something good out of it. Kind of like with the Scouts, it'd be the same thing. If they don't want it, then you got to find something else that they want. That they're going to actually,
right,
grow into something productive.
No, I agree with you. I feel the same way. Some people really enjoy sports, and that's their game. Some people enjoy the instrument. If you can find like that better.
Well, I was gonna make them do both, but it's just a lot. It's a lot of work.
It can
be.
Like
we're gonna be working until like 7:00 tonight. Then I'm gonna eat dinner and go to bed.
Right.
That's pretty much how my Tuesdays go. And then I have to go to bed early on Tuesdays because
gotta go south.
Yeah, I have a big old long day tomorrow. But anyways, do you want to stop now and work on some bass?
What time is it?
2:09. We could do like 20 minutes of bass, or I could edit this together and slap it up.
That'd probably be a good idea.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.
All right,
Bye.
peace.
Good luck.